Hello and welcome back to the Learning to Live podcast. I'm your host Amelia J, and for today's episode I wanted to talk about some small personal wins that I have experienced recently, and as well just talking about my favourite ways to connect with source. What I mean by source is kind of just like the universe and nature. For some people it's God, etc. For me it is just the universe, high powers, all that sort of stuff, as that's what I believe in. So it has been a few weeks since I recorded, and a while since I posted an episode. I think it's been a few weeks. Yeah, sounds about right. And I realised as well, tomorrow, so I'm recording this on the 3rd of April, tomorrow it will actually have been 1 year since I launched my podcast, which is really crazy to think about. And whilst it's exciting, I'm gonna be honest, and I am a little bit disappointed. And I'll get into that in a little bit. I'm gonna go through my highs and lows first of all, because I like to do that in each episode, talk about my highs and lows from the week so far. So it is a Monday today, so it would be from last week. What did I do last week? I did uni work last week. I suppose one of my highs is that I got all my uni work done, which I do manage to do most weeks. Sometimes no, but sometimes yeah. I'd say my weekend, I had a good weekend. It was my boyfriend's birthday yesterday, which was a Sunday. So it's been a really busy weekend, honestly. I'm struggling physically and mentally. Today's been the first day where I've just had to sit down and not have to worry about anything, to be honest. My boyfriend's sister planned a surprise party for both my boyfriend and the other sister, as their birthdays are 1 day apart. So it was my boyfriend's birthday yesterday and then his sister's birthday today, and the other sister planned a surprise party for both of them, and it was going really well. There was a few hiccups and I managed to not actually make it to when they walked in through the door, which is kind of sad, but at the end of the day, I think it was pulled off quite well. Honestly, I was kind of just stressing about that on the Thursday and the Friday throughout the day. I was just really nervous that it wasn't gonna work. My stomach was just going wild because I'm that type of person who gets a bad stomach when they're really nervous, and stuff like that. So it was not the best experience stomach wise, but yeah, we pulled it off. It was really, really good. I had a really good time. It was a nice party. I physically have been struggling ever since because it was just physically demanding and my body is a big fan of that. So yeah, it was really good. I had a lovely weekend and today is nice. I decided that although I technically don't go on half term for Easter until next week, I decided to actually switch my week and have half term this week and then come back next week. So I basically just went a week early and I'm gonna go back a week early, if that makes sense, just because I feel like I needed it to recover from the weekend, just for physical recovery, mental recovery. I do get quite, I have a social battery and it does get drained and I need that time to recuperate after going out, and I didn't really have time to do that this weekend. I wasn't really home an awful lot, and I'm not saying that's I wish I didn't do what I did, but it's just nice to have that time to recover. So this morning I woke up, got up, and I've done my room, tidied, cleaned it, did a little bit of reorganising a little bit, And then I actually got a new book. I'm going to go and grab it real quick. So I am on a book buying ban, technically. But this book is like a self-help book. It's not a fiction book, which is what I intended on not buying by doing a book buying ban. So I said I was going to go on a book buying ban until my birthday, which is on the 23rd. My boyfriend was like, I thought you were on a book buying ban. I was like, I am, but this is kind of an exception because I've been wanting this book for a while, and I thought one of my main goals was that by my birthday I would have just worked on myself a little bit. When I set that goal, it was a good 2 months until my birthday, so I thought that was a good time just to really focus so that I could start my 20th year off really well. Do you know what I mean? So I got In the Flow by Elisa Vitti. I think that's how you say her name, I hope so. And she's a women's hormone expert and founder of the modern hormone menstrual healthcare company, which is flowliving.com. And she also is the best-selling author of Women Code. So yeah, I got this book, and it is basically just learning about the hormones in a female body and learning how to sync your cycle with just your daily life. And it's got a 28-day plan with recipes, workouts, a daily planner, and a biohacking toolkit. I'm just reading this off of the blurb. I've read probably about 35 pages today since I got it. I haven't read that much of it like today, but I have sat down and read a few times. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this book. I'll say that is my other high, is I'm really enjoying this book so far. I've been learning about cycle syncing through TikTok, and also one of my favourite YouTubers called Sophie Jane. She did a video on, I think it was what she ate during her luteal phase, I think that's how you say it, and she talked a little bit about cycle syncing in it. I just think it's really interesting, and I've been trying to find a way to balance my hormones out a little bit, and I think I actually might have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And again, that's what to do with your hormones and your cycle, obviously. And this book does go into that a little bit as well, I believe, from what I've read so far. So I'm really excited to get through this. I will do a more in-depth talk, maybe a little review on the book when I've finished reading it. Maybe I'll do an episode on it and cycle syncing. But yeah, I'll say that's my high so far this week, is reading that book. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm going to read some more tonight, and then I have got plans this week as well. So I've taken today to recover, tidy my room, record this episode, and kind of just chill out. So that is pretty darn good. And then this week I had to take this video on uni on schedule when I need to, so that's pretty useful, obviously. So yeah, this week, tomorrow, I'm visiting my stepmom and my 2 youngest siblings, which will be really nice because I haven't actually seen them for a good few weeks, just because I've been either busy or physically haven't felt up to going for a visit, if that makes sense. Sorry, I'm tired. So I'm going to visit them tomorrow afternoon. Wednesday, what am I doing Wednesday? Wednesday, I think me and my boyfriend are going to go and see the new Super Mario Brothers movie. Or the Super Mario movie. I think that's it. I think that's what it's called. The Super Mario movie, which I'm really excited about. I don't know why I said a boot like that. Really excited for that. Thursday, my best friend Ria asked if she could interview me for a project for uni, so I got that in the afternoon as well. Wednesday, again, the film would be in the evening. And then Friday, I'm supposed to be seeing my best friend and her daughter, so I've got a busy week planned. I'm trying to keep all my plans in the afternoon, just so that I can have the morning to wake up, do my morning routine, relax, do some podcast stuff, hopefully some TikTok stuff as well, and just do that sort of. Anyway, yeah, Milo. I don't actually remember if I did Milo or not, but I just say that I needed some recovery time after my weekend, both physical and mentally, emotionally. So yeah, I've taken that today. It's been a good day. It's pretty nice outside as well. It's kind of cold and a little bit windy, but it's really sunny, so I've been really enjoying that. My phone is vibrating. But I'm really sorry if you can hear crickets chirping, by the way. I'm sitting next to my vivarium, which is where my gecko resides. So yeah, he has got some crickets in there at the moment because it's feeding day. But yeah, so I think I'm going to get a little bit more into my 1 year podcast anniversary. Honestly, it has been a little bit hard because I expected that by now I would have had more episodes released, like it would have been more consistent. I would have had more interaction with the podcast, and obviously I understand that, you know, everything takes time, and I'm kind of sad that I haven't been able to meet my own expectations, but also it's hard, it's time consuming. I say podcasting is one of the easier things in my experience compared to YouTube, at least for me anyway. But it's basically like I do struggle to find the energy to do things, and podcasting isn't one of my priorities like uni and my physical health are my two biggest priorities, so podcasting really just falls in the okay, well, when I have time. So I am trying, and I'm trying not to be like disappointed in myself for not being where I wanted the podcast to be at this point, because obviously it's new, it's a learning curve, and also a lot of it I can't control, if that makes sense. So yeah, but happy 1 year of the Learning to Live podcast. I think I just need to focus on the fact that I've been wanting to do a podcast and just create content for so many years, and I never did it, or I do it and I wasn't happy with it, so I would just delete it or private it, whereas I haven't done that for a year, so I'm really happy with that, and I think that's what I need to focus on more than the other side of things. So yeah, so we'll get on to some of my small personal wins that I have experienced lately. And what I mean by this is just small things that I've done that I wouldn't have done before, or I did them easier than I did before, or things that I procrastinated and then I did it and you know what, it was fine, that sort of thing. So the first thing is I've been making some phone calls by myself. I had to call the garage twice, maybe even 3 times. Who else have I called? I called EasyJet because I was going on holiday, and I think there was one other person that I did call. And the thing is, for me, is I do think I have social anxiety. I don't have a diagnosis, but it's pretty evident that that's what it is. Especially when it comes to talking to people that I've never met before, but because I also struggle to hear over the phone, and just in general I usually put I usually read people's lips. Obviously you can't do that on the phone, so I have a lot of anxiety surrounding it. But do you know what, I've just been taking it one phone call at a time. I have a couple more that I need to make because the hoist for my wheelchair in the car just stopped working a few weeks ago. I have been procrastinating calling the guy who will come and sort it out, for no particular reason other than just I'm scared. And to some people that might sound silly, it might sound weird or stupid, but it is things that people do suffer with. Obviously it depends, varying person to person, but you know, I've done that, so I'm proud of myself for that. I also took my car to the garage for its first year service, took that by myself, dealt with it all by myself. So I was just really proud of myself when it came to that. And then, yeah, so those are the things that motivated me to keep going. I have to call a couple more people, and also, what was the other thing I needed to do? I don't remember. There was something else I needed to do, but I don't remember what it was. But it was again, oh no, it was something I already did. Basically, last week on Wednesday, I helped out at an open event for my old school. And you know what? I was really proud of myself. I usually wouldn't do that before, like I did do it whilst I was there, but it was more of a, like, just sitting there and talk to your friends sort of thing, and just, you know, direct people. Whereas this time, people would be coming over and asking us questions and all this and that, and quite a lot have changed about the school since I was there. So again, like, it was a bit like, oh, what do I say? But I'm really proud of myself, and it was really nice because I got to connect with people that are also alumni from the school. So it was me, one of my best friends, Ria, she helped as well, and then there was a couple guys who were in my year that I was like friends with, and then there was 2 people who had been there before us. So yeah, it was really nice because we just got to like connect with them, which was really cool. And it was weird, like, going back into the school as well and just seeing like what's it like, what's going on, has it really changed? Not really, it hadn't really changed that much, but also it had. Weird to explain, but yeah, I was really proud of myself for doing that, because when people came over, like, I did talk to them. I didn't, you know, stumble like I usually would or get like really overwhelmed like I usually would, so I was really proud of myself for that. So yeah, and then I'm gonna quickly talk about my favourite ways to connect with source and, you know, high powers, the universe, etc. And these are things that they were a big part of my life, and I have been trying to connect back with that again, just because it's not necessarily that I've fallen off of it, but it's just I'm not dedicating as much time to it as I did before, if that makes sense. So the first thing is journaling, and I find this is really good for anxiety, just if you've got a lot on your mind, if you're an overthinker like me, working through, you know, things that have happened in the past, moving on from experiences, and as well, just if you just need to do a brain dump. It's really, I think it's really helpful. It's one of my favourite things to do, and I often forget how much I enjoy doing it or how much better I feel afterwards, until I've then gone and done it again. I'm just like, I really need to make sure I'm doing this properly, because it really does make a difference. You can find loads of journal prompts on Pinterest. I'm sure you can find loads on TikTok, Instagram, just the internet in general, but I find Pinterest is one of the best places for journal prompts. So yeah, I would say journaling is one of my favourite things for connecting with the universe. I know some people would I've forgotten what I was going to say literally in the middle of my sentence because I'm getting distracted by these crickets. But yeah, I like to write to the universe, if that makes sense, to the universe, to source, to higher powers. That is what I personally like to do, but you could write to, you know, whoever it is that you believe in, or you could just write to yourself, or you could literally not address it to anyone and just literally write whatever's on your mind. That's kind of how I started off, and it has developed into me writing like I said, towards the universe, high powers, etc. The next thing links in with the journaling, and that is daily gratitude. There is nothing quite like this. When you are practicing gratitude, you feel better about yourself. Like, you're reminded of, the blessings and the good things that you have in your life, even if it's something as small as you had a nice cup of tea in the morning, or it could be something really big like you got a promotion at work, or you graduated uni, or whatever it is. It could be a big thing, it could be a small thing. I like to make a list of 10 things that I'm grateful for every morning. I don't do this every morning. It is my goal to do it every morning. Just being realistic here. Don't have to get upset and just fall off of the bandwagon because you didn't do it for a few days in a row. Just go back and do it. And I personally like to write this down, but sometimes I forget, or sometimes I'm in a rush because my body needed more sleep, more rest in the morning before getting ready. So sometimes if I don't have time to write it down, I just say it out loud. Or you could even just think about it in your head and just list these things in your head. I like to do a combination of all three. And as well, when I'm driving and someone's let me go, like they've given way to me and let me turn out. This happens quite a lot where I live because it's a really busy road that I turn out onto, and it can be quite hard to find a space to stop, like a gap to go through. So if someone lets me go, I just say thanks, even though I know they can't hear me. And obviously you can do the little hand signal or put your hazards up to show them you're being thankful, but there's nothing wrong with just saying thanks as well out loud. So yeah, as well, it's really good for just raising your vibration. I'm pretty sure gratitude is one of the highest emotions and vibrations on the frequency scale. It's definitely high up there, and if you believe in the law of attraction, you want to be in line with the higher vibrations like gratitude and all of that stuff, which again is what I believe. So pretty cool stuff, really enjoy doing that. And then the other thing that I just really love doing is just spending time in nature. I remember last week, and I can't believe it's already been a week since this happened, but it was just really nice outside, and I thought, I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna eat my breakfast outdoors. And I did that, and I journaled out there and read a little bit, and then I was like, I think I just need to go and sit outside for the day. And I was like, but I've got uni work, I can't not do my uni work just so I can go and sit outside. And I thought, well, why can't I go and do my uni work outside? I work on my laptop and my iPad, but I have data, I have a hotspot, and if I really, really needed to, I could have taken pictures of my work and done it with no Wi-Fi, if that makes sense. So yeah, spending time in nature always makes me feel better. And I find it funny because my boyfriend had actually said to me the other day, this was a couple of weeks ago I think now, and I was just in a bad mood. I think I was just frustrated and overwhelmed, kind of annoyed and tired, and he said, do you want to do something? I was like, yeah. And the plan kept changing, and I hate when plans keep changing. Hate, mega hate. It's from the Grinch, but it really does frustrate me and upsets me and disrupts my mood and my daily, the flow of the day, if that makes sense. And we decided, we're gonna go to the park, and we did that. And do you know what he said? Your mood just changed instantly. I was like, I know, just being outside, especially at the park, really just elevates my mood. It really makes me feel so much better, especially if it's a nice area, like at the park. You got the greenery, you got the trees, you got the nice sky, the sun, all this and that. It really does make me feel so much better. And as well, the fresh air. If you don't go outside very much, please just try going outside for 2 minutes in a day and just breathe and sit and intentionally think about what you're doing. Just, breathe in nice fresh air, even if it's for 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. You could slowly build it up if that's what you want to do. And I'm really trying to make these things a priority this week whilst I'm on half term, whilst I don't have uni. Really just trying to prioritise that. And just, I know the tricky thing is I know these things are going to help me, but I struggle to find the motivation to do them, if that makes sense. Like, I know it's going to make me feel better, but sometimes I don't want to do it. And I think part of that is me taking comfort in the fact that I'm struggling. And that might sound really weird, but those who have any sort of mental health issues or have just experienced, trauma in the past, I think it's something that people like that would understand more so than people who haven't. But sometimes, one, it's just a lot easier just to stay where you are than it is to try and make yourself better, because it's hard. It really, really is. But I'm trying to focus on doing what I'm doing and just trying to help myself out, help future me out, and do all this stuff. But yeah, it's time for me to end this episode. I really hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow the podcast if you did enjoy, and follow my TikTok and my Instagram if you want to. No pressure. But yeah, I hope you have a lovely day whenever you listen to this, a lovely night if you're listening in the evening. And yeah, bye.